Hey, writer, if that's your real name, so you're out there and you're frowning at my blog. Yeah, I can see you. You didn't know that Monitor was two-way and powered with Narrativium and going. Okay, Sarah, what's with all the different series and different names? I know that notorious criminals and people with multiple personality disorder use different names, but why you? And what's with all the series? And, by the way, when are you going to update your website, so I don't have to stumble around in the dark looking for your series in order? I'll start with the last question first. Renovations are ongoing. Only I've come to the conclusion I need a complete redesign. So, I'm building another site from scratch in the invisible pages of the site, and keeping it there until I can bring it all online with a bang. Also, hopefully with a forum, which hopefully will have chat but no bangs, unless it's New Year's or something. Now the series. Well, I didn't set out to write multiple series. Heck, I didn't set out to write multiple genres. I started out to write science fiction. To be exact, I was going to write space opera and maybe some historical highbrow, incredibly involuted fantasy. People were going to swoon at my brilliance for the fantasy and push cash at me for the space opera. I was going to have someone to do the cleaning and laundry for me, and I could spend all my free time with the kids and Dan. And we'd have time and money to travel. Oh yeah, and for purely morale purposes, I would have a cute male secretary who made a killer cup of tea. Yes, I do love my husband dearly, but I'm allowed eye candy. As you can probably guess, things went weird. First of all, I still don't have household help, or a cute male secretary. It also took me decades to publish. And on the way there I wrote 8 books, 2 of which are now published in rewritten versions, and 1 of which I now know how to rewrite. It's actually a trilogy. It is patiently waiting its turn. The other 5 are just in a world that's not workable. Anyway, in those 13 or so years I was writing mostly for myself. I had to keep myself amused. So the space opera morphed into odd fantasy. And the odd fantasy begat other odd fantasy. And then I wrote historical and mystery, and I actually have a space opera with telepathic cats outlined somewhere. And then I sold. And then when that series didn't do so well, I sold the Musketeers. And then there was the historical. And, oh yeah, the Shifters fantasy. And then a proposal for an historic fantasy series sent out years before, sold. And then another mystery. And then I got attacked by a vampire series on the way from my art class. If this sounds chaotic to you, it is. Yeah, part of it is market driven to the extent that I tend to finish series that sell. But the other part is internal. You see, I trained myself to have ideas, and now I can't stop having them. Yes, it totally is a matter of training. I'll write about it tomorrow, probably. I'm now at the point that I believe, as Leonardo da Quirm, Terry Pratchett's character, that the ideas rain from the sky all the time. I have tried to fashion a tinfoil hat to keep them out, but my agent says it will overheat my brain, and besides she likes it that I have ideas. She's a cruel woman. Love her to pieces, but, really, she's leaving me at the mercy of the ideas. As for why the multiple names, no, I'm not embarrassed by what I write. I do, however, have 2 types of names, open and closed. 2 closed so far, 1 published, 1 yet unpublished. For good and sufficient reason either on my part or that of the publishers. Mostly marketing reasons. No, I'm not embarrassed. Nor am I doing anything immoral or illegal. It's just that sometimes it's easier to market things that way. In the open, I have 4 currently, and frankly if I had started out today, they would have a slightly different distribution. Why? Because I think on the net, it is very important to brand your name. More important than it used to be when it was all paper books. Why do I think that? Well, because the covers might be harder to see or read for genre signs. I have plenty of readers of mystery who would be upset if they bought an SF by accident, and readers of SF who will not read historical, and so I'm trying to establish branding. But because of the timing of my realization, some series are already started done under a name that would not be different. That's life. As for Ill Met by Moonlight, All Night Awake, Any Man So Daring status, out of print. No authorized e-versions. I'm working on getting those out. Sarah A. Hoyt Shifters series, urban fantasy Sarah style. Almost science fiction. Shapeshifters, but no vampires, no general magic, even if some stuff is a bit mystical, not too much dark stuff. Mysteries and diners, though. Set in Gulfport, Colorado. Draw 1 in the dark, Gentleman Takes a Chance, upcoming, Noah's Boy status, last I heard hard to obtain in paper, but both are available in ebooks from Bean.com. Reasonably priced at that. I have heard rumors publisher plans to bring them out again at time a third which is started, but not yet finished. Sarah Delmeda Musketeers Mysteries and Should the Need Arise, Other Historical Mysteries. Murder Mysteries solved by the Three Musketeers plus one. Death of a Musketeer, Musketeer's Seamstress, Musketeer's Apprentice, a death in Gascony, dying by the sword and possibly upcoming Musketeer's Confessor. Status, Death of a Musketeer is being re-released by Naked Reader Press. For now it is available as an ebook. It will also soon be available pod. As for the others, their status is unclear. By the terms of my contract the rights should have reverted, however e-house is being difficult. Proceed with care. If Dome does well enough, I will write Musketeer's Confessor for publication early next year. The trailer for Death of a Musketeer is here. Sarah A. Hoyt Magical British Empire. At the time of Charlemagne, in a magical parallel world, someone stole the eye of the goddess, which must be recovered. Victorian England. Dragons. Magic. Flying carpets. Trains and factories run on magic. Steam power and gas lights too. Oh, yeah, romance. Africa. India. China. Heart of Light, Soul of Fire, Heart and Soul status, in print. No more planned at least for now. Elise Hyatt Daring finds mysteries. A young woman struggles to survive and feed herself and her toddler by refinishing furniture that, somehow, often has clues to crimes new and old. Sassy. Funny. Odd. Set in Gulfport, Colorado. Dipped, Stripped and Dead, a French-Polish murder and upcoming A Fatal Stain. Status, in print. Sarah A. Hoyt space opera set along a future history populated with such things as artificial islands, wars between bioengineered and natural humans, biological solar collectors, feisty women and men who are not exactly slouches. Darkship thieves and upcoming darkship renegades and possibly, not bought yet, a few good men in the same world interacting, but not with characters from Darkship status, in print and furiously underway. Given my health, giving me a break soon, should be done in a matter of days. At least ESR Sarah Marcus Blood Worlds. This is the first trilogy, but actually there is a contemporary series set in the same world. The world almost entirely taken over by vampires, in which humans must fight, gallantly, against overwhelming odds. And which vampire domination is often legalistic and undermines human societies from within. The first trilogy, just sold to Prime Books, revisits the world of the Three Musketeers, where Richelieu is a vampire, and with his guards rules the night, while the king rules the day. A noir feel and the sort of black humor where one laughs in the teeth of hell. Sword and Blood, Blood Royale, Rising Blood status, all are upcoming. The first one is delivered. Any questions about the books or their content, or why some have a certain name? I'll be glad to oblige with answers, if I can. Cross-posted at Mad Genius Club. If you like this content and want to support this channel, the blog, and Sarah's continued writing, please like and subscribe. If you really enjoy the content, please come and join the fun at accordingtohit.com.